Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, or should I say, welcome back to us.
Yes.
It's been some time since our last episode, so we're so excited to be back. Today, we have a special guest, but before we get into all the fun, I want to say welcome back to another episode of
What Anna Said podcast.
Today, we are joined by someone who embodies service, strength, and heart. This is a fellow lion. This is a woman who wears many hats, a mama, entrepreneur, and business owner in life and health. And even in the midst of her own personal journey, she continues to show up for the community with purpose and passion.
Right.
And so we're so excited today to introduce you to our guest. So friends, help us give a warm welcome to Gail Faumuina.
Yay! Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, Gail, for just taking the time out of your day to be here. We know that time is valuable, and we truly appreciate you sitting down with us and just being here so we can share your story. So, Gail, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and where you grew up and the environment that helped make you become who you are today?
Sure. Cali girl. Grew up in Cali, born in Long Beach, but grew up in the Bay Area. I guess I want to say I'm not that, we're not the typical Polynesian family. Well, we grew up a little different. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family with my family, my parents. And I think that's what shaped me. I just want to say that straight up. I think, just being in a dysfunctional family where alcohol was big, drugs, domestic violence, a lot of that growing up kind of shaped me. That environment kind of shaped me where I am today. So I wanted to share that. I thought it was really important to share with a lot of, especially Pacific Islanders, because later in the years, me growing up, we ended up in foster care. So, yes. Yeah. And being in foster care from 9 years old to 16 and still being a ward of the court even after that. So pretty tough growing up. And that's what shaped me today.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Gail. I truly can't imagine that, but it definitely, just you sharing that, it shows us the spirit of resilience, which is what you have. Yes. And I can see that in who you are today. Gail, what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself today?
Myself today, I just what you said, resilience, compassion, and just being very intentional. Today is where I'm standing now. So, yeah.
Yeah, those are really big words. You said resilience, intentional, and what was the third word?
Being compassionate.
And compassion.
Compassion is just knowing where I come from and seeing other people, not judging them, and just being and passion towards people who are struggling. I think I gravitate more to that.
Yes.
For people who are going through things, I'm like, I've been there, done it.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of drives me more into trying to be there for people who are struggling. So.
Yes, like you said, that the 3 words is intentional, compassion, and also
intentional resilience.
Resilience. Yes, all those 3 words is every single thing that I think about you, Gail. Whenever I see you, every time me and my sister see you or run across you, and we're like, man, Gail, you're just such a sweet and compassionate person. That is who you are. You're so welcoming to me and my sisters. You're always encouraging every time, like, Skastati sisters, we love what you're doing, just everything. You're so supportive. And also with our Mid-City Pacific Islanders Lions Club, coming into that organization and just being so willing and open to, the change that we want to bring. So thank you so much, Gail.
Yes.
And those 3 words are truly who you are through and through. What's something people often misunderstand about you?
I get a lot of messages from people. Oh my gosh, you're doing so great. Love, just wish I was in your shoe, things like that. Like, man, just things like that. I'm like, no, you know what? I'm actually going through a lot, so mistaking me for my strength, like I struggle a lot, and I just want everyone to know, like, hey, there's a lot behind the scene y'all don't see, and but yes, I really appreciate people seeing me as that strong person. But I go through things, just like any normal human does. So, also taking my kindness for weakness, you know. Taking my kindness for weakness. I like being. I'm not a drama type of person. I'm, if anything funny comes around, I just like, hey, I like my peace. I better step away. So just like taking my kindness for weakness is one thing. And I think also clarity. I'm always need to have clarity. So I need to clarify some things. And so sometimes people will take that as drama. And I'm like, no, it's not even that. I just want to make sure that let's try to see how we can fix things. I'd rather try to fix it in a positive way instead of carrying on. I just need to shut that down real quick. So taking that the wrong way, that's always been misunderstood for me. So I just rather, if it ever goes that way, I just rather just step out. Keep my peace.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Gail. Like you said, you wear your strength so beautifully and so gracefully. And I just want to compliment you on that. Like you said, that you are going through things. And when people tell you, oh, I wish I was in your shoes, and they don't see all the things that you've gone through or to make you who you are today, it's just like the resilience that you mentioned. So, and the compassion and the intentionality of how you are with people, and people mistaking that for, that your kindness is weakness. And I'm just so appreciative of you, Gail, and just taking the time to stay here with us. You are all of those things and more. And I'm so excited to see as we continue to learn about your story and our viewers continue to hear about who Gail is with us.
Yes. Thank you so much for being vulnerable too and sharing that. Like right off the bat, question number 1 was already so heavy. For those of you guys, our listeners, we know Gail through, your daughter. We're very good friends with Mia, and also through the Lions Club, and where Gail serves alongside us. And so even through spending all that time together with Lions Club, I never knew the depth, your story and where it began and everything that you've been through. And I can see why people look at you and think that you're doing great and everything is okay because you don't look like what you've been through. And that is a testimony of its own, and your story is still being written now. And just to see the way that you carry everything that you've been through and everything that continues to come your way. But even you sharing that, whenever you try to clarify things, and if it gets to a point where, it gets to, like you said, the drama, or it gets out of hand, you gracefully bow out, or you take a step back. And I love that because I feel like I identify with that. And to me, peace is always worth the cost. And so if peace costs you misunderstanding me, it's worth the cost. You know what? I'll let you misunderstand me because the peace is worth it. And so for someone like you who has been through everything, been through the noise, been through the trauma, whatever it is, peace is such a valuable thing to you. And I see how much you value that, and it's so much more powerful when you say it because you've been through. It's like your life was war, at the beginning, and for you to say, I just want peace. Misunderstand me if you want, whatever you think of me, assume what you want. Peace is greater. So thank you for sharing that. I really love that about you, and it exudes from you. You as a person, it just exudes from you. And I can see why people think they can play with you because you're kind. But when I first met you, I was like, it's always those kind ones. You're dangerous. So I'm like, the peace is for you. Don't try her. So looking at your personal journey and your background, when you look back over your years of growing up, what were the biggest influences on your character?
Biggest influence on my character? Oh my gosh, I think my past. The past has really shaped me to who I am today. For real, like I can't say any more than that. All the experiences, all the challenges, they're meant to break me, and I didn't break. So me
thinking back to that time and you saying that, you didn't break, that to me is that's amazing. I don't know how someone can hold strong, especially young that way in your younger years. Where do you think that strength came from, or who taught you that strength or that faith, that resilience? One of your key words. Who taught you that?
I think my parents and my grandmother had instilled in me, God sees everything you do. So it was always faith. I think I had God in my life since I was young. When I was young, we were a Seventh-day Adventist. I think at that time in Carson, Long Beach, and my grandma would always say, He watches everything you do, or we did prayers every evening. So just knowing that we had God in our life, and I was able to, I know now that I can talk to Him. Like I didn't do this before. I think I found the strength to finally say, okay, where's God again? Who is He again? Had to remember that, man, I remember Grandma always talking about it. We go to church and we do this, but we go to church, we're not really in church, we're not really there. But I think when life finally hit, whatever time period that was, that I finally said, you know what, I really need to talk to someone, and He was the only person I looked to. So and since I realized that He's the one I'm going to go to, I'm like, I do it more often and often, and like, man, like He just takes everything away. So
wow.
I don't know if that answered the question.
That definitely answered the question. It reminds me of the verse, train up a child in the way that should go, and when they are older, they will not depart from it. And what you just shared was, your grandmother and people instilling those truths in you, even though you might not have fully understood or comprehended God and God's love for you and who you are. You still, that seed that was planted later on in life, whenever you went your way, or when you said I need to talk to somebody, and that was the first thing that came to your mind, like, what is this God thing? Who is God, and what is it about? That seed that was planted came at the right time, and so I love that you had that when you were young, and you held on to that. Whether it was buried deep, but that was still instilled in you, and you were able to go back to that whenever it was needed. Was there a moment in your life when you realized I'm responsible for who I become?
Oh, yes. Yes. I needed a change in my life, and, this is during my marriage. Now we're divorced. There was just nothing changing, I just knew that don't want this. It's not the kind of life I want. So I knew I need to make a change, and the only way I'm going to do it is if I freaking do it. And I just finally said one day, I got a notebook, and I was like, all right, this is not going to happen no more. And that's when I said, I'm sorry, we're going to have to separate. After years of being together, nothing was changing. I just saw myself drowning, and I'm not the same person. I'm starting to drink more. I'm, now other things are coming to my head, and I'm like, nah, this is not the kind of life I want for my grandkids. So I need to make a change right now. And no one else is going to save me. I need to do this by myself. And that's when I finally just started laying down everything. And I was like, what the heck are you doing? Even health wise, I was like, I'm at 375 right now. I'm like, I can't stay this way. I got to make changes. So being intentional, I didn't know what that meant before. You really do got to do things and take action to everything you want to make change. If you want to make a change, don't keep saying it. You actually got to take action.
That's true. So, very true. Yes. Something that you shared, like saying that, even later into your life, I love that you're sharing that with our listeners, so that that's a truth, that it doesn't matter, how old you are, how long you've been in a situation, like, battling with your health and maybe complaining about it every day, but never taking action. It's not until you take that action that things begin to change. And so that's so true. And I'm so glad to hear you saying that, that realization one day just hit, and you're like, I got to get everything in order. No one's going to do it. I need to do it. And that just speaks to your power, how powerful you are to do that.
And not only that, when I made that change, everyone else made the change too. And it was really hard. Like when you make the change, especially when you're married to someone for almost over 35 years or 30 years. Wow. I mean, almost 30 years. You're over 25 years, you're just so comfortable in doing the same thing all the time. It would not change when you're finally making these changes. Like even that person didn't agree at first, but then it was like, oh my gosh, I'm happy we did it. It was a good thing. So not for just me, but for all of us. So it was a good thing. Yeah. So action speaks louder. I mean,
I love the positive effect that came from you making that change. Like you said in the beginning, maybe everyone's not in agreement with it, but then to later see that it turned the tide for everybody, and it affected everyone in a good way. It was needed for everyone. So thank you for sharing that. What personal principles guide your life today?
Just keep pushing, keep thriving to whatever you're trying to get done. Let me see what I put in here. Just believing in yourself, believe in yourself, and then to keep your faith. And then.
Yes. Yeah. Those are awesome principles. Believing in yourself. A lot of people discount the power of belief. Believing in yourself. I mean, if you think about flowers and plants, and they've done many studies on this and proven it true time and time again, and you plant a flower in a garden and, 2 gardens, and one garden, you're speaking life to it every day. Hi, beautiful flowers. You guys are, and they hear positivity every single day. But they receive the same sunlight and everything, and the only difference is the way you speak to them. Those plants or gardens or fruit trees will produce more, and they grow more. They are more. They don't die off like the ones that you don't speak to, and so there's a real truth in that, in believing in yourself. So imagine if the flowers in this world that grow today and wither away tomorrow, if they can benefit from positive speaking and the way you speak to them, how much more can you as a person and the belief you speak to yourself? So that's a wonderful thing to share, that guiding principle that you have in your life, that belief in yourself. I love that.
I mean, just like you mentioned, Anna and Gail, it's just like that verse that the tongue has the power to speak life or death. And that's something that we, continue to instill in our little champs, that they're all champions, and that we should choose the power to always speak life to one another and to believe that they have a superpower, a greatness inside of them, which is God's purpose in their life, what they were created to be and who they were born to be, just like you sharing your life about your upbringing and everything you went through and going through foster care for those years and then going through your divorce and everything, just continuing to shape you and mold you and make you to the purpose that, God has set out for your life. So Gail, we just thank you so much just for being here with us, sharing light on everything that you've been through and having just that positive outlook on life. Like Anna said about the plants, how you talk to a plant. There's an actual study with, I forgot his name, Dr. something, a scientist, and
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss, right? Yeah, but he did it with rice. Right. So he did it with rice. He did the experiment with rice. And even with rice, he put one, he'd water it. He put it and talk all these positive things to. And then one rice, he's like, you're bad. You won't grow. You're like all these negative things. And what he saw within, I think 6 weeks time or so, was that the one that he spoke negatively to had mold and was decaying. And the one that he spoke life to was perfectly fine. And isn't that pretty interesting? And that's rice. It just shows, the way that you speak is truly important. You have the power to speak life or death, and you continue to speak life over your life. And just thank you for sharing that with us, Gail. A question I would like to ask you, Gail, is what does faith mean to you in a practical and everyday sense for you?
I put here, God fully has my back in everything I do, because he does. I just have faith that he's always going to be the one that will have my back. So just having faith and knowing, you have to believe it. You can't just say it, but I do believe that he's fully got my back. So I think that's it keeps me strong every day. Like
exactly.
I'm surprised myself of how I'm standing today. Like I know it's because I believe in him, and I know that I used to have a hard time giving him
Yes.
my problems.
Yes.
I know a lot of us do. We got to start giving him our problems. Get rid of it, because if it stays inside, those problems will start to it'll show on you.
Exactly.
So yeah, I have full faith that he's always gonna be here and get me through whatever challenges. He's been doing it for years. So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Gail. As you talk about faith and it's getting you through challenges, Gail, when you face challenges or fear or the uncertain or unknown, what is your first internal response?
looking at God again, again and again, even if it's just a small talk with Him. You know, like I'll do a quick prayer with Him if I need it. Sometimes it's a real quick, okay, God, please, da da da. Or if it's a deeper thing, I'll say, okay, let me sit down and talk. Sometimes I'll get on my knee, not all the time, but I'll sit up and, I need to talk to you. This is a deeper thing for me right now. So, yeah, I'll just get into those moments where I just need to talk with Him. So, just looking at God over and over, looking up, just asking for His help in everything I do. That's the truth.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to having faith. And it just reminds me of another verse where it says, if you have such faith as a mustard seed, which is so tiny, a little small seed, if you have even a little bit of faith that you can move mountains and nothing will be impossible for you. You can tell this mountain of doubt, go over here as far as from the east as from the west, or north from the south, like go far away and it will go and it will leave you. The same thing with your problems and everything that you go through. So thank you for sharing that, Gail, because I can see, as you said, it's your faith that continues to instill that courage and that strength, and that you get that from God. So thank you, Gail. The next question, I already know this answer. It just says, how do you keep your spirit strong when life gets heavy?
I just think about my grandma, and like I said, she just that stays in me. Like, just keeping the faith.
Yeah. That God knows all and sees all.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gail, our next question for you is, what role does prayer play in your decision making and mindset?
It's a huge role. Keeps me grounded, humbled, and It's a big deal for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about like what you said, it keeps you grounded. And so, what I picture is, when you're connected to the source, connected to the source of life, the source, your faith and everything, that's what keeps you. When the boat is rocking, when there's a storm and the boat is rocking, that's what keeps you calm. And your faith, just to know that God got me. Like you said, God has my back through everything. A question that I have for you, when it comes to leadership and community, because we get to the opportunity to be able to work alongside you closely with Lions Club, and just seeing you and your ideas, and just seeing how much you care for the community, and you really do have that empathy, especially because of your upbringing, like you said. So you're more aware and in tune of those things. When you look around, you see the need, and you see things that people might not just see, on their day-to-day, but because of the things you've been through, those things stick out to you. And not only do you see them, but you want to change it. You see a need, you want to meet it. And I love that about you, because you're always ready to take action. That's one thing about you. You take action. But the question I have is, what drew you to leadership?
Me growing up, back then, we didn't have a lot of PI help. We didn't have teachers, counselors, being in school. Didn't see people that looked like me. So it was kind of intimidating to talk to Balangi teachers or guidance counselors. They didn't see us that serious, just like, oh, that's just a foster child. Just put her over there, and, that we'll see you guys after school, or, we'll talk to your foster mom or your foster, it was just never really a good guidance type of deal. So for me, growing up, I always saw, being in juvenile hall and stuff like that. When I saw a guidance counselor, I think it was in juvenile, I'm to tell you guys probably, some of those who was going to listen, remember who he was. I can't remember his name, but I really looked up to him. I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to be a counselor like you, because we all looked up to him. Never really seen any polys that are out there, helping us. So being leader, I felt like, where I'm at now, I'm just like, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of helping another person who was like me back then, because I didn't have the help I needed. I didn't even know what graduation was, to tell you the truth. Wow. We didn't know what graduating was. We didn't know about GPA, didn't know about, what college is or nothing, because we were just so focused on striving to make it through foster care. I just want to see my mom on the weekends. Yeah. A lot of the times in foster care, they'll ground us and take that privilege away. So that's what the system was kind of like for us. It was like, you know what, hate the system, we're out of here. So we ran away from a lot of our foster. That's probably why we stood in foster care for so long, because all we wanted to do was to be with our mom, see her at least through the weekend. And when they take those things away, it's like, all right, now I'm about to skip. I'm about to go to another. Yeah. And, being so young, we were on the streets pretty young. I want to say probably 11, 12. We were homeless, but we were running away from foster care a lot of the times, just really struggling, So being, just being a part of, I think, I try to get away from, doing stuff in the community because I'm struggling through things, but for some reason I keep going to this same thing. Oh my gosh, we should do this we should get this for the kids, this will be good for them. And so I keep finding my way to the same path. And so this where, when y'all had opened the door, I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to be around these girls because they are doing the right things for us. They're doing the right thing for the kids out here. So I've been just trying to find that group of where do I belong? Where am I gonna give my ideas to? Where am I gonna share all this stuff that's in here? Exactly. So when you guys had opened that door, I was like, I'm coming. I'm coming in because I got a lot to share, a lot that I want to do, and I just need help. We're gonna do this all together, and you guys have really shown a huge thing for where I need to put this at. So you guys are young. And that to me is a big deal too. We don't want the old folks coming in with their ideas. Which is still good. I'm an old folk, but I'm also like young-minded in a way. I'm still growing. And so I just think about the youth. I think about what can I do to and bring whatever it is that they have, because a lot of them, I talk to so many young adults, and I'm like, man, that idea is awesome. Like, you should bring it out, and so there's just, when I'm talking to them, they're like, man, Gail, I love hearing that they love hearing what I'm talking about. I'm like, no, we need to do it. So I'm all about, okay, so where am I going to do this at? So I'm just so happy that you guys had opened up the door for us to come and share some of our ideas. So anyways, just the leadership part. The guidance, there's some that need to hear. They need this. They need what you guys are, our vision is. And so just helping people come out of their shell, and sharing whatever dreams you guys have, to do it. Don't wait too long. I'm 50 and I'm just starting to do music, and that's so old. It's never too old at the same time. If you're gonna want to do it, have fun. Life is too short. So
wow. Yeah, I totally agree. No, I love that answer. And just like you said, as long as you have a pulse, if your heart is beating in your chest, you have purpose. You're here for a reason. Your job is not done. God still is using you as an instrument to bring about, His glory. And so just to hear everything that you shared, you're such a treasure, Gail. You really are. And then I'll tell you why. Because all of the things that you went through in your life, you could have just stopped there. Now, here you are in your life. You're a grown up. You can fend for yourself, and you can protect your. Like, I'm done with that. I can walk away, but you didn't. You turned around and walked back towards that and said, no, because there's others there. There's others there that are going through everything that I went through. There's others there that, you know, like foster kids or whatever, that maybe feeling the same exact thing that you went through, and you're like, no, I need to help them. You know, you didn't get out and like, I'm out, every man for themselves, but you said, you know what? I'm here now. I have the power to do something, you know, as a grown up, whatever it is. And even like you said, not knowing where do I start, what capacity can I put all these ideas into, you continue to search for it. You didn't stop, you know, every conversation you're having with those young people or the people in your life, or even like encouraging us when before we got together with Lions Club, you were always encouraging us. You have that on your heart. Like that's something that is completely in you. That thing is not a thing that you picked up. It's completely who you are. And I see those leadership skills, and I see that, and I see you finding any kind of way to develop them. And I love that. Every time I'm with you and I speak with you, you truly inspire me. You inspire me to be better. You inspire me to, like you said, don't wait. Don't wait. Do it now, you know? And I love that you said, I'm in my 50s and here I am starting this singing career. I love that. What a way to take action, and you're proving to me that what you're saying, that you're about it, because you're doing it. And so when you tell me, I'm a believer, I believe what you say because I see you doing it. Look at Gail doing this, you know, pursuing her singing career, which, by the way, if you've never heard Gail sing, sounds beautiful. We love her voice. We try to get her to sing anytime that we're able to get her to sing, and try to make opportunities for her to sing, because we believe in your gift, in your voice. And thank you for using your voice to not only share a story, but even to sing. You know, music is so healing. When I think about the Bible and I think about all the ways that music played a role, look at David and the harp that he used to quiet the mind of a troubled king who had all these thoughts in his mind, and David would have to play the harp, you know, to calm him down. And just so many ways that music is used as an expression and as a healing. And you're a part of that, you know, with your music, everything that you do. Like, I'm just so, I'm so blessed to be in your world, like to be someone who gets to benefit from all of the things that you're sharing, even here, you know, saving this episode and being able to tune into it anytime I want and just hear your story and go back and really take a look at the resilience, because like I said before, you don't look like anything you've been through. Wow. And I just, I cannot even believe the things that you shared with us. And like you said, like trying to find a place of belonging. And I'm just thinking like, wow, this little girl who had to grow up, go through the foster system, go through that foster system, you know, and like you said, like being a ward of a state, even when you aged out or, you know, running away from it. But, you know, in that whole time, just knowing, like looking for your belonging, and the whole time knowing that, you know, you belong to God, and God was saying like, I got you, Gail. Like you said, God got my back. You know, even then when you didn't know, or you just knew, I know my grandma tells me about God, and just knowing that you were God all along in that whole time. And to see your story come about this way is just a beautiful thing for me to see and be a part of.
Yes. And then I also just wanted to touch on something that you mentioned before Anna asked you your next question. Was you mentioned how at that time going through as a young teen and in school and not seeing a teacher or a counselor that, you know, felt like is like one of us that you could relate to or come to with everything that's going on. And then that's why you're doing what you're doing now. You know, it's just like whenever you find the need in your community and you fulfill that need or meet that need, that is where your value is made and purpose is created. So I just want to say, Gail, that's exactly what you're doing. Like you said, all these ideas and all these things that you want to bring about to the table, and our Mid-City Pacific Islanders Lions Club is the perfect opportunity for us to work together to bring all these wonderful and brilliant ideas for our youth, because they are the next generation, and they're the ones that we really need to train and lead and to teach them the things that we don't know, so that they could be better for the generations to come, and making change that changes lives. So thank you so much, Gail.
Speaking of the Mid-City Pacific Islanders Lions Club, what do you understand about our mission of personal development that others may not see right away?
Personal development is huge. Helping people grow into something that they dreamed about. I mean, you want to inspire them, and you want to push them to get to that part. their inner voice or you know, whatever it is that they got hidden talents or whatever dream they have. Yeah, I think the personal development is the vision that we have is so important.
Yes.
I wrote some things in here, so let me try to.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Take your time.
Everyone has unlimited potential.
Oh yes.
Very true.
Unlimited potential. Like so many talents that we have, and yet we're just. We just don't want to push for it because we're so stuck in our cultural ways and comfortable where we're at. No, it's okay. It's just too much to do. Don't want to do that. And then you wonder, okay, well, you know, that guy, you may be content about what you're doing. You know, some people are content. They're happy with the comfort that they're at, you know, but some are still trying to figure that out. And maybe they're turning to other things because they can't figure it out, you know. Drinking and you know, they may be musically talented and they're out drinking and doing karaoke like I was before. Karaoke was like something I did almost every weekend, you know, because I love singing, but I was doing the alcohol thing. But back in the days, you know, I used to have, you know, back then we had just the tape recorder and we used to get the tape and put a, you know, tape up the top, record and then, you know, and then put that on the other side, record that voice. So you have now a combination of voices and you're harmonizing to it. So I used to do music back then and I didn't realize that I was doing music a long time ago. And didn't realize, but you know, now the world is ours. We got everything on social media. You got music apps that people already are, you know, selling their music. You don't even have to do it no more. You just, like I do my songs. I just pick up a song, pay for it, and there goes my song. I just throw the words in. So I think with the understanding our mission, this is what we're doing, is we're trying to help everyone come out of their comfort zone. We're going to help you get there and get you guys to whatever business you're wanting to do, whatever, you know, if going to college, you guys are giving scholarships away. We're giving scholarships away. So I'm so happy to be a part of it. So yes, we're trying to get all of that together and just building the community. One thing I have to say with this community is from where I'm from, the big city, you know, San Francisco, San Mateo, you know, LA, they got a lot of programs and stuff. Here at HEB, I have to say, you guys got it all together in a way, you know? You guys are doing a lot of good things. You guys have wonderful careers, and I don't see so much of poverty as bad as you would see in the bigger cities, you know? Here, you guys got it together in a way. So, but there are still people here that are struggling. So with that being said, this program is still needed here. We still need people that need guidance and stuff like that. So I'm just really excited about what we're going to be sharing. So really excited.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to do it together. I see why community is so important to you, especially with you sharing your upbringing. It really emphasizes to me, it's so meaningful why community is so important to you and why you want to create those things and why you want our kids to see teachers and doctors and, you know, singers that look just like them and all of that stuff. Like you said, we have so many resources today. We do not have an excuse. You know, whatever you want, you can get it done. And I love that you said everyone has unlimited potential and you need to discover it. You need to start. You need to find out all that you can be. And so
yes, and if you don't know, you know, what that could be, then come join our Mid-City Pacific Islanders Lions Club and we'll help you.
We'll help you find it.
We'll help you find it. Yes, your purpose.
Yes, very true. How do you view leadership, not as a position, but as influence?
Action speaks louder than words. Being consistent in the community. You know, we got, good people. We got people who are constantly out there. And I want to say Dolly for one. She's always showing up and just being a good leader, not just with one club, but everywhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. That's true. Being a leader is not just when you're in the club, it's across the board in your life. You carry that with you no matter what it is that you're doing. And like you said, it's not just talking, it's the action. Yes, action is the word for the day here.
Yes.
Exactly.
Action.
Being
Yes.
intentional.
Exactly.
Intentional.
And being intentional. Gail, what inspired you to choose life insurance as a profession? I know especially for our Polynesians, that's not something that we're taught or that many of us may not know about. And I know an actual family that had benefited from life insurance whenever an unexpected death happened in their family, and they were able to help cover the cost and help continue to move on and pay for other things when this family member left. So I know that it's very important, but what inspired you to choose life insurance as your profession?
I didn't know too much about life insurance. My family didn't know too much about life insurance because none of us had it, protection. Always had to look for the church to cover for expenses and stuff like that. So I think for me, when I was introduced to it, I was actually jobless. I didn't have any work. So I just got fired from the credit union, and it was right during COVID. And I was introduced to the life insurance, being recruited into the agency. I saw it at that time as when someone dies, my gosh, someone can get a house, can own a business, use this money to grow. Like I've been poor my whole life. My family's been poor forever. So I'm like, man, this is a way I need to start telling people, hey, you need to get life insurance.
Yes.
Anything happens to you,
Yes.
your family can benefit from you dying. Sorry, but it's the truth.
Yes.
So why not pay just a little bit of money? We're wasting our money at Costco, at bars, and I see how much money we spend. I know how much money I spend. So I was like, if I could spend that much money, then let me spend some money towards leaving something for my family. So that was important to me. So I said, I need to share this. So how do I do this? And that's when they were teaching us how to do all this. And so it was important for me to be out there and let everyone know, hey, you need to get some protection for the kids.
Yeah.
So get it for the kids, because a lot of us, our Polynesian people, are not really doing too well right now. Compared to the Palangis, and the statistics don't look too good. Let's change this up. So that's where I said, okay, well, we need to get more people out here to share the information. So I knew I had to start first with myself, and so
Yeah, exactly. And then going into a field like that and having to put yourself out there, sometimes can be a bit scary or intimidating. But like you said, you have that spirit of resilience, and what you put your mind to, you make sure that you conquer that, Gail. And just thank you. Thank you for continuing to push through and push for something that our people do need, because you don't know what you don't know. And like you said, you didn't know about it. A lot of our Polynesians don't know about life insurance and what it can do for you. So thank you for taking that, taking that step and being the voice for our community when it comes to our life insurance. What have you learned as being someone that's in life insurance about people, families, and purpose from working in that industry?
I've learned that a lot of people don't take it serious. They, nothing's going to happen to them. It's too expensive. They don't see what it can do for you.
Yes.
For your family. They see it more of, it's a bill. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. But they surely don't see until it's too late. When they start to have issues with their health, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I need to get life insurance. Well, dang, I can only give you so much. This is all I can give for you. Being a broker, we're able to shop around. But it's limited. If you wait too long, you see the older people they gravitate more towards it because they know.
The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking. And you got the younger ones who are just really like not thinking about it at all. You got a lot of kids at home. And they're, it's just another bill. So I liked to see that people see it more of what it can do for the family more than just worrying about how much it costs.
Exactly. Making a change that matters. You know, and it all starts up here in our mind. That our mind is the most powerful tool in what you believe and what you know and what you think. And, you know, don't want to put too much blame on the younger generation. You know, it does start from the older one, but our younger ones, like you said, have so much potential or to teach themselves like, hey, this is really important. You know, it's not just another bill. This is your life, you know, and this can benefit you so much if you just change the way that you think and know that this will help you, especially in a time of need and a time of going through so many emotions or so many things that you can't even think, but all you can do is cry, especially, you know, having to bury a loved one or something. How much life insurance can help you in a moment like that, in time like that. Gail, do you feel your work aligns with your calling or purpose, and how so?
Yes, I think I'm aligned with it. Yes, I think I tried to stop, you know, like I'll try to move away from it sometime, because it gets overwhelming. You get a lot of people, and then, you know, you don't get anyone. And sometimes I just like, is it for me? And then I go right back into it, and I'm like, okay, no, I need to share this real quick, you know, especially what I'm going through right now, you know, and this is very important. I have to say, now I have cancer. I'm at stage 4, and I can't qualify for anything right now. And that was one of my plans, was to get more life insurance, and I can't qualify for it now. I mean, I can qualify for the 2-year period, but very limited money, you know. So I, you know, people are saying, oh no, I got another person just yesterday, and she said, no, Gail, I no longer need a quote. I got work, and then my husband has the service. And I said, you know, that's awesome. I always tell people, if you have work insurance, get the most you can from them, because it costs nothing or it costs very little. And when I say little, it's like under $10, $3 to get a really good amount of life insurance. So please get as much as you can while you're at work. However, that can be swept away pretty quickly. If, like, for instance, with me, in my case, my FMLA kind of ran out because, you know, throughout the whole year, I'm using the FMLA because I'm in pain. And right when it's time for me to take the time off, I'm like, you know, lucky I got the short-term disability. And you have to sign up separately from your enrollment time for life. When you do your yearly enrollment, that's not included. You have to go through the union to get that short-term disability. So lucky I signed up for that a couple of years ago. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't even know how to pay my benefits. Because now that I'm off of work, I have to pay for my stuff separate. So it's a direct pay. And that took half of my check. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So to be honest, I'm actually going back to work because I can't afford it, you know, because, you know, and you know, so I say to please get something private for yourself or your family, because work insurance can be gone just like that. Yes, we have the union. The union has a life insurance thing where if you do depart from work, you can keep it. However, there's an application you're going to have to fill out, because now you're not going to get the discount rate that you get when you are working, and they will do a health check afterwards, and then that premium will be skyrocket high. So get something while you're young, keep it whole life. I do recommend people to get whole life and term, and keep that as much as you can. Get more if you can. Accidental, we have an accidental that actually pays you back all those premiums if you outlive it 30 years. So you're not losing anything, you know. All this is good stuff, and it's for your loved ones, not for you. It's for the people you're leaving behind. So very important.
That's very good information. All the information you just shared. And that's why it's so important to share your story, because you have this wealth of information, this knowledge that, especially Pacific Islander community, we don't know, we don't care, we don't tap into it at all. Like you said, we rely on our jobs or our 9 to 5 or the whatever we have, and we use the very little information we have to, you know, make those decisions. And we need to understand the weight of these decisions. It's a big decision to make, and it's a life-changing, life-altering decision, and it can really help you, or you can really be, you know, left without and having to figure out a way at the worst time in your life. And so this is really important. So thank you for sharing that, Gail. Going into that, you recently received news, like you said, with your cancer being stage 4. I can't even imagine your first reaction emotionally, spiritually, when you got the news.
Oh yeah, it was devastating. I couldn't believe it. At that time, it was stage 3. It kind of spread it through my stomach area, but it's real tiny. I think the chemo is taking care of it. I'm stable. I'm good. You know, and in the beginning, it was hard. I was already in pain, so just kind of struggling through that, taking pain pills. I don't like taking pills, and so I just knew that something was wrong because I kept taking pills, and I was even at work, and I'm like stopping at the gatehouses. Hey, do you have a pain pill? Wow. And stuff like that because it was something was not right, and I'm like, I don't ever do this, and so just in the beginning was hard. But I had to change my mindset. I had to know, I'm not gonna let this get to me. So it took a little bit of time, with the chemo. Took the first time, the second time, I was getting a lot of information from people, negative, like, hey, I'm so,
Right.
I didn't want to hear all that. I knew I was going down the hole already. I was like, man, I'm already like losing weight. Like I lost 40 pounds and like really, is it 30 pounds or 40? It went from 370 to 340. So yeah, that was pretty fast for that short time. But I was also fasting before I knew all of this. I was already trying to be healthy and because I knew that something was hurting me, and I was like, okay, trying to be on top of that. So I was working and losing weight at the same time. So I didn't blame the cancer. I'm like, half of this is because I was already fasting. So I lost a lot of weight, but doing all that stuff, I just knew that I can't let this get to me. So I had to pray on it and let God say, hey, how am I going to deal with this? Constantly taking notes, and then just really every day was just trying to see how I was eating and what made me feel like constipated, what made me feel better. So everything was timed all day. Like Moy was there. I was like, he would always check in on me to make sure. Like I wasn't eating, and he would always, you need to eat. My family was like, Mom, you need to eat. And I just couldn't. And I called the doctor one day and I said, hey, something is wrong. I'm not eating. I'm not even using the bathroom. And I need help. So they gave me some medicine, hydrated me. And from then on, I just been better since. And I think it's a positive thinking. You have to change that whole mindset. Like it's a big deal. So you have to mentally you gotta be strong minded about this and just not let it get to you. I'm like, just got up and say, no, I can't be like this. So I don't know where the strength came from. I'm telling you guys, it went from that like zero, like I was done. Like I think I was really down. And all of a sudden, from that doctor visit, from then on, it just been prayers, just praying and staying positive. My health just went up. Like, started eating. Bathroom was good, normal. Like my strength, everything. I gained a lot of weight. I'm back at 250 something now. So
that's good news.
56. So I just feel strong. I'm back at work and. I feel like nothing is gonna take this.
You're right.
Yeah, there's nothing can break me.
Right.
That's how I feel right now.
That's what it is. You shared earlier that that being anchored to God, being anchored to the source, that has really kept you grounded, and I can only imagine that being more true even now during this time of your life, and just hearing about how your family has come around you and just supporting you, and you doing the work too. You putting your feet in the ground, you're like, no, and your mindset, making a decision and saying like, no, this is not going to take me. I'm gonna fight this. And like you said, you were already going, when you got the news, you're already feeling yourself. You're going in a hole. You already know what it is, and the negativity that's coming from outside. And for you making that stance, like, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to invite any of that negativity. I'm only looking upward. I'm looking forward. And that's something that as I hear your story, you've shared that many times, from your upbringing to now, and how in your mindset, like you said, it's really your mindset, and that's a powerful thing for you to really understand that and to practice that in your life. I know that has a huge impact. It's maybe we might not see, or you're not able to hold whatever the impact is, but your life is being changed by it. Those around you is being changed by it, and that's a powerful thing. In what way do you think that this season has revealed? What has this season revealed about who you are?
Nothing can break me. I think that's an answer.
Yeah.
The most important thing right now is just thinking about my family, my grandkids and stuff like that. So I see more, that's like everything that's more important to me right now is more meaningful for me. Like I'd rather spend a lot of my time doing what's most important, and that's spending time with my kids, my family, and just trying to live out the dreams that I've been wanting to do. Like there's a lot of stuff that we want to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're just gonna live it out.
Yes.
We got to do it. So
right.
I'm just every step that I take is intentional. I have to make sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to go, because I don't know how much time we have. I don't know if this is going to progress anymore or whatnot. So everything is just like, wow, I'm like going against the clock right now. So I have to do everything I can right now. And,
That's so true. I think that's something for all of our listeners. I know for me that I really take away from this is because everybody doesn't know the day, right? We don't know the day, the time, the hour. Everybody has a clock, and you don't know it. And in your situation, that clock was taken and put right in front of your face. Yes. And it's the one thing on your mind. It's you sleep, wake up, the clock is there. And for you, that completely refined everything in your life to be anything that takes time, space in your life. It has to be meaningful. It has to be intentional. It has to be worth it. It is important to you. And so to see this, a lot of times, sometimes we're like, we just need that extra push. You took something that would cause people to panic or cause people to live in fear, and you turned it around and used that to feel that push, to feel yourself, to keep going. I'm going to do everything that I want to do, everything on my bucket list, everything I dream to do, my singing, my grandchildren. And not only am I going to do it, I'm going to tell people about it. I'm going to tell people to do it, because you're seeing life right now in a way that we are not seeing life. This is real. Everything you do, every decision that you make, this is real. And that clock is telling you is real. And you're like, you know what? God is real. And I know that my purpose, like I'm still here, and I'm going to live it out. And I love that so much. And seeing you, like, you're a fighter and nothing will break you. And I love that, because everything that came to destroy you, you were like, no, actually, you're putting the battery pack in my back, and you're going to give me energy. That's the thing that's going to push me. Now I'm going stronger now. And hearing, like you said, I'm going against the clock now. And that's the thing, is that seeing you in your life, it feels like you've always had to be, you always pushing against the system, against, your upbringing, against what life tried to steer you this way. But your mindset is stronger than all of that. You're like, no, I'm going this way, and you're going to push me there. Yeah, you're going to help me get there. And that is just, that's amazing. That's really amazing. How do you keep hope alive while still being honest about your process?
Just keep doing what I'm doing every day. To be honest, I just keep doing what I'm doing and have faith that everything's gonna be the way I want it to go. If not, then that was His will. So it's okay. I have staying spiritually inclined. Like I really have to stay in my spirit world. We're all spiritual beings, and we got to listen to that, because I didn't listen to my spirit before. So that's a whole nother, I could go on with that one, but just staying spiritually connected with everything.
Something that you just shared was, you said, even if it doesn't go the way I want it to go, even if this plan I have doesn't work out, then that means that it was his will. And that right there is so powerful, because it tells me that with everything that you're going through, your mindset, even though you're saying, this is going to go my way, I'm going to beat this, you're not denying the reality of what is going on. You're not denying the reality of that clock being there. What you're saying is that clock is there, but my focus isn't. I'm not focused on that clock. You can take all you want. I'm focused on this. I'm focused on winning. I'm focused on my purpose. And I see that in you, and I love that, because, people might listen and think, oh, you're not being real. You're not, this is not the reality. No, this is reality. But I get to choose what I focus on. I get to choose what I magnify in my life. And even though these things came to put a stop, you're like, okay, and I'm bigger than that. I'm stronger than that. You're not going to break me. And I love that, because I can say it all day. I can say that, but you're living it. You're literally living it. All these things are at your doorstep, and you're choosing to live to your greatest potential. And that's powerful. Coming from you, that's so powerful. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. What do you want people to understand about strength, real strength, in times like this?
Oh, it's okay to fall. It's okay to, strength is awesome to have. People outside, like I said before, they don't see what's going on, but stay strong.
Yeah. You don't even have to answer it, because you're living it. You're showing it. Your actions speak louder, and you're showing us that every single day. And so don't worry if you don't have the words, because you have the actions, and that is all we need, baby. Okay. So, something that you want to share with the listeners, what would you say to someone who feels overwhelmed or defeated by their circumstances right now?
Well, that was a question I was stuck with. But just to keep going, because we was talking to Moa about this, and I'm like, I just pray. Like, I would just tell him to pray. But he was like, but what if they don't believe? What if they don't believe? And I'm like, well, I didn't know how to answer that. I was like, well, I had friends that I would just share some YouTube videos of some of the things that I would listen to. And it's really just people you don't have to believe in God, but there is a higher power for you that's in with you, you can just talk. Like, what if they don't want to talk to
Right.
whoever that is? They don't know who it is. So so we kind of was talking over, and I actually didn't have a real answer, but just to try and help anyway by just sharing some of the things that helped me. And that was just listening to some of the spiritual healers that you find on YouTube. That's what helped me. I went through a really dark place at one point, and I constantly was listening to Lois Hayes. She's an awesome person, and I would listen to her in the morning, during the day. Anytime anything came in my head that was negative or whatnot, I just had to pop her in and fill my mind with something good today, because I don't want to feel what I'm feeling right now. So a lot of that was a lot of help for me.
No, that's true. And your response is valid, because it's what helped you, like you said, maybe someone listening, maybe they don't believe in God, but you sharing that's what helped you. You're still planting a seed. You're still showing them the way. This way might not help you, but like you said, in those times when you were in despair, I had to hear encouragement. I had to hear life speaking words. And if for those of you that are in that place, that dark place right now, and you need that same thing, do that. Listen to life-giving words. Listen to that encouragement. And what I love about God and the Word of God and who God is that if you're out there as an unbeliever and you search for hope and you search for that light in this world, you will find your way on that path. However it comes to you, it will, because that is the only word that holds power, the only word that speaks life. So even if you, like you said, just, find that encouragement. And if you search for it, you will find your way there.
Yeah, and just like you mentioning, when you're talking to Moa and not knowing how to tell those that are unbelievers, or how can they, this is something that I share with like the little tiny kids in my Sunday school class, and I tell them, I say, look outside on the sidewalk, you see the leaves, and then the leaves start to move, so I tell them, why are the leaves moving? They're like, it's because of the wind. I said, that's right, the wind is blowing it, but do you guys see it? They're like, no, we don't see the wind. I said, yes, but you can feel the wind. You can feel the wind, and you know that the wind is there. It's the same thing like God. You can't see him, but you can feel him, and you know, okay, God, this is you. So that's a very good analogy, yes, for them to pick, because it's the same thing with the wind. You see the trees when you look outside, and all the leaves are moving, but you don't see what's moving it. So just wanted to share
That's
that.
nice.
What does courage look like to you today?
Just getting up every day. Being grateful for every day that you wake up. Waking up every day, that's courage.
It is.
Getting up out of the bed,
Yes.
that's courage.
Yes.
Just facing another day.
Exactly.
Being better today than yesterday.
Yeah. Not getting up is an option. It is an option, and a lot of people, for many people. So thank you for sharing that. Getting up every day, that's courage. Choosing to get up and face what it is you're facing, that's courage. So thank you for answering that. If you could leave one message on the hearts of everyone listening, what would it be?
Don't take a day for granted. Live out what you want to do. Do what you want to do. You're never too old. Life is short. And just go for it. Go for it. Do whatever it is you want to do in life. Enjoy life. Have fun with it. And
Like you mentioned, Gail, about not taking a day for granted. If only we could all just wake up.
it's hard.
I
still struggle there too. So
to really think about it, if we were to not take a day for granted, everyone would be living purposefully, with purpose and doing everything with meaning. And that is something that I know for you to share that, in the situation that you're in is holds a lot of weight. It's real. And that's something that our listeners, that are tuning online, whether on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple.
To look up there.
Yes, yes, whether on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, that is something that we could all use, is not taking a day for granted and being purposeful with everything that we're doing. Gail, what is your vision for your future from here forward?
Oh my gosh, it's just I hope whatever it is that I'm doing, that it inspires, especially my kids. My kids are, they're young adults, but they're struggling, and a part of it is probably because I struggled raising them, and it's okay. I'm trying to make that change now, and I'm hoping that they see it, and then my grandkids see it, and other people will see it as well. Really looking forward to making some changes, and hope that I've done my part, in doing what God said to do. Give your gifts, some way or another. So
everything you set your mind to, Gail, you do it, and you do it so beautifully, and so just carry your strength so well. And like you said, that your kids will be able to see it, and everyone will be able to see that you'll be able to live a purposeful life. And that's everything that you're doing, from being in the life insurance agency to being in the Mid-City Pacific Islanders Lions Club, and trying to bring change that changes lives, that will last for generations to come. And that's exactly what you're doing, Gail.
thank you.
Another question I'd like to ask is, what do you believe God is doing in your life right now at this moment?
Man, he's doing good things. Like I feel like he's challenging me at the same time, but I'm trying to see how I'm gonna fall in a way. Like, how are you gonna take this now? I sometimes I'm like, when I got the news of this, I'm like, dang, really? What else? What else do I have to go through? So because at first I'm like ready to go full force on this, the plans that we got, and then I'm like, oh shoot, now I got this here. So gotta get through it again. You know, it's like in my mind, it's like a concourse. Like I just have like these little things that I keep going through, and I'm like, okay, well, shit. How do we play that?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we gotta play it out. So we're gonna just have to do it. So yeah, I think I just feels like he's testing me in a way, like just to see how I'm gonna react to something. So I'm like, okay, it's okay. I'm gonna keep praying. I'm gonna keep talking to you. So
Yeah.
But I'm not a saint. You know, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Prayers is the way I'm doing things. You know, it's going to God doesn't mean I'm like a saint. Man, I'm struggling through a lot mentally and physically, and it's okay. I just want to say it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you just get back up, start over again, and do it over again.
Yeah.
Keep trying whatever it is that you want to do. Don't let those trial times get to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, don't take a day for granted.
Yeah.
And that, you know, like you mentioning all those things and going through like an obstacle course.
Yeah.
You know, and you're trying to dodge these things, or this pops up and you have to change direction.
Yes.
You know, same thing like a game of chess. When you play a game of chess and you're moving your pieces, if I move my pawn over here, or, you know, one of the other pieces can get that one, but our goal is focus on getting to the king. The same way, like, you know, God is our king. He's the King of Kings. And that's our main thing, is trying to get to the king. And you know, even if you have to take your detours and you have to go left, right, or take a couple steps back before you can move forward, these are all things that continue to shape and make and build you to who you are today, girl.
Very true. Very true.
What's your message to the person who is fighting something silently right now?
I think the same. Just try to find your peace. Worry about you. Don't worry about nobody else. Take care of your mind. Take care of your heart, your space first before anything. Nothing matters at this point if you're battling something very silently. Yes, please take care of yourself and do you. No one else matters. Even if you have kids, you gotta ask your family to please take on the kids for a little bit. I'm going through something, you know, and so on. So yeah, definitely take care of yourself first.
Yeah, very true, because you can't fill from an empty cup.
Yes.
You know, and it's very important, like we know, talking about wellness and mental health, and especially going through something. Sometimes it can be pretty tough. It can be really hard, especially when you feel like you're fighting these things alone and by yourself. But as you mentioned, you know, your strength comes from God. And everything that you do, you always look back to God, and that's where your resilience comes from, and that's who you are. That's your character. And then also you just being intentional and showing that to our community and to our next generation coming up. And just everything that you have shown us today, Gail, with sharing your story and just taking the time to be here. We truly, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming and sharing your story, because, you know, even years from now, your story will always be up. You know, for your grandkids, your great grandkids, you know, your family to look back on. You know, so just thank you for having this time capsule that we get to keep for everyone to continue to see.
Mia's so sad. She didn't even know I was doing this. I told her, I go, hey, I'm getting ready to go. She goes, where are you going? She asked me if I was doing anything. I was like, I'm doing a podcast with Anna. And she's like, Mom, why didn't you tell me? I was, oh my gosh, I could have got you ready and I've done your hair. I was like, no, it's okay. It's like kind of a surprise. No one knew that we were doing this. So I didn't tell anyone, only Moa.
This is such a special story, and I can't wait for our listeners to hear it. You share so much light with us every time we see you, and that's why we wanted to bring that same light to our listeners. You're always so positive. You're always so, everything about you is just external. Like you're giving, you're serving, you want to do it for others, and so we just wanted to highlight your story because, like, to me, you're a warrior, really. Like, however this thing goes out, like you said, to me, you are a warrior. You're brave. You locked in as a kid and everything that you went through. And for you to speak so, even though you went through those things, you speak so tenderly about your family still, and even sharing about, previously in your marriage and doing that, but how it turned out to be good for all of you guys. And I see how you guys still, love each. There's still so much love with the children, with your family, and how much love you have towards the community, and how much your heart breaks for children. Because a lot of things that you do in the Lions Club, you always emphasize for the kids, and I get to understand now by listening to your story where that passion comes from. And I see that was in you. And I love that you took that brokenness from your past, and you're keeping others from having to go through that same thing. And now, like, no matter what the age, you're saying, you know what, I want to make a change for my children and my grandkids. I want to turn the tide, like the link breaks with me, and we're going to start a new thing, and we're going to do better. And I love that you're doing that, and you're using everything that you have, your voice, your talent, your gifts, your business. You're doing everything that you can, everything that you have within your power. You're using it outward. You're serving, even in the way that you carry yourself, even in the rooms that you go in, the conversations that you have. When you take a step back and you're like, you know what, peace is more important in this time, in this moment in my life. Just your intentionality, it really is. I see that in everything that you do. So we're so grateful you're able to do this. We know your time is precious, and thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I love you guys so much. I just have to say, like, I share you guys stuff all the time because we need it. What you guys are doing, especially the school, Little Champs. And like, I think I spoke to you guys about, I used to have a dream of having a high school, a private high school for Polynesians.
Exactly. See? Yes.
And you've already are building a foundation already. So who knows?
Yes.
You're going to have that school. You're going to have it.
The possibilities are endless.
Exactly.
The potential, like you said, we have so much potential.
Unlimited.
So,
Unlimited.
Sure.
Can you imagine a lot of the recruiters coming to the high school and picking up? They ain't going one high school in Texas. They're all over there.
Right. Exactly.
Okay,
you got singers. You got
everything.
You have all the superheroes there. You don't have to go nowhere else. I used to hear when the recruiters used to come out to Texas, and Trinity was actually not a school they were coming to see. They just had seriously, these football coaches were coming to see other schools.
Wow.
But they just happened to come and let's go check out Trinity since they're right here, right next to the airport. So it's kind of sad to hear that.
Right.
So I'm like, next time in the future, they're going to come off that plane and say, we're coming to that school.
Exactly.
The big champs.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm very inspired.
Oh, thank you so much, Gail.
Well, thank you so much, Gail. I mean, you're just like you mentioned, you're just such an inspiration to us.
Thank
you are a true superhero.
Yes.
With a cape. And we just want to thank you again for the opportunity. Like the superhero, your power is just, you just give off such radiance and such light to everyone that you meet, anyone that comes across you. When you come to our meetings, we're like, oh, Gail's here. Like, it's always
we always love it.
We're just always so excited encouraged. Yes.
Thanks.
So thank you so much, Gail, and just taking the time to be here. And then also to our listeners online that are tuning in. Thank you guys so much for just hanging out with us, listening to Gail share her story with us. And if anyone would like to leave anything, if you have any questions, you can reach out to either one of us, the sisters, or even Gail as well. Or you can leave a comment down in the
word of encouragement,
for Gail. And thank you again, Gail.
Thank you for
this time and opportunity.
All good. We'll catch you guys on another episode of What Anna Said podcast. Bye.